Hey Hulkenberg, it's Aussie Villain. I'm good, mate, I'm good. Now listen, I hear you're the man to go to about subbing in for a race. So how'd you like to race at Monaco? Excellent, mate, that's excellent news. Now listen, I'm going to need any points that you scored to count towards me. So you can use my helmet, and how's your Aussie accent? Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Aussie Villain Racing. We've just got to get through this one today. It's the Monaco Grand Prix and, well, that's less said about it the better, to be honest. Now, we do have a little bit to catch you up on, or to go through here, I should say. The first thing is sponsors. Apparently, all of our sponsors have come up at once. Now, rather than just renew them like I usually do, I think we can be a little bit more ambitious now. Now, we could go for this one, avoid collisioning with another vehicle. That's a little bit too ambitious for me. I think 20 constructors points, I don't think that is unrealistic. I mean, the way Gasly's going, he wins every race anyway, so let's do that. I think if we're being super ambitious and looking at the bonus money here, let's go with qualify pole position during the achieve pole position during qualifying. I mean, again, I think we can kind of rely on Gasly for a lot of this, but I'm not too bad. You know, if the car's quick enough, one of us should be on pole, surely. And I think maybe just for something, it's a little bit of fun, let's go with overtake 4 different drivers during the race. So we can't overtake the same car and let them back past in one battle. We have to go past 4 drivers. I'm assuming it's a team thing. If it's just a me thing, I'm not sure. But anyway, let's do that as well. So that means sponsorship money. I mean, potentially we could be raking in the cash now, which would be very, very nice indeed, wouldn't it, if we could do that. But that's that done. Let's go and have a look at the activities that we've got coming up between the races. Now, there is a little bit of a break, it looks like, because there is a gap between the last race we did in Imola and the Monaco race. That's just the way that the calendar works, doing our own calendar. So I think we should be able to just go and do just about everything here, shouldn't we? Durability equipment upgrade, so let's go with that. HQ supply tour sponsor advertisement with the vehicle area team, but let's do that. It's only a little bit of cash, but cash isn't that important, and that's going to take us through to the end of season, or the season break. So that is that. If we look at facilities, we have 14 million. That's probably just about enough to keep Gasly. Oh, I wanted to talk about Gasly actually as well. Let's go. We'll come back to that in just a second. Now, do we have any upgrades? There are upgrades coming through, aren't there? So we'll have those in time for the next race. Is there anything else we can do though here? I don't know. This looks like it's locked, so that's probably we need to get something else done at the factory. And the only other thing that we can do is relating to durability, and again it's locked, so we can't actually do anything on terms of upgrades. So I had a thought, because we can see that Mercedes has gotten much closer to us, as have Red Bull and Ferrari. What's going to happen, I think, is everybody's going to basically reach the point where the car is perfect. So if there's no regulation change, it's going to get very interesting in terms of the order, I think. We can see there we're halfway through the gearbox life, and it's only 29% worn, so that's excellent. Corporate side of things, we've just done that. Now, contracts. This is what I was thinking, is that not for this season, but is it worth not being able to keep our teammate for more than 1 year? What I'm thinking that will do is it'll force the driver market to move, so we don't have the same drivers in the same cars. And it would it be more interesting to have a different driver every season as our teammate? Let me know what you think of that. I just thought maybe that would make things a little bit more interesting rather than just getting beaten by Gasly each week. We can get beaten by different drivers every season, which will be nice. Now, we haven't done anything, so there's nothing in terms of the finances to catch you up on. And the standings, I mean, Gasly is in danger with running away with it, isn't he? 61 points. We need him to DNF, and Monaco is not the week for this, because if he wins that, if I take a point, I will be absolutely delighted. And yeah, this championship season is looking over before it begins, for me. So yeah, there we go. Constructor standings, those looking very, very nice indeed. Season results, no, this one. Season results, Gasly, look at that. 6th, first. Yeah, he's just good, isn't he? He's just really, really good in this car. Now, if we look at previous seasons at Monaco, last season I managed 18th, which I think is a high for me. We got, what did we do the season before that? We didn't go to Monaco? No, there it is there, 3rd race. We got 20th and a DNF in season 1. So, yeah, we're looking at a best of 18th, and that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? The rivalry with Ricciardo, it's a good thing we have a narrow lead over him, because, well, that's going to be gone after this race weekend, isn't it? And driver details, I, again, don't think anything there is going to change for the positive, that's for sure. 8 podium finishes I have now, which is very, very nice, isn't it? So let's go and sim ahead. and just as I say, endure this with me. Well, we have a personnel team event. Okay, so it looks like a magazine wants to do a piece on Gasly. I'm going to do it because we get the acclaim, and maybe it'll slow him down a little bit, you know? We want to keep a little bit of interest going here. So, Gasly, go and enjoy the limelight, mate. Have fun. Everything. Oh, we've got something else that hasn't come through.
Expecting some new developments.
Yeah, I saw it, Jeff.
Some of them have failed.
Thank you.
Control.
So you need to go to durability.
Via the R&D screen.
We've got two things that have come through, but the turbo has failed. So let's go and re-get that. And there we go. 13 days. We'll have that ready for Monaco in any case, which is good. And continue on. And we're going to reach an end of or a season break, not end of season break. And we'll come back ready for the Monaco Grand Prix, I'm assuming. Looks like, do we have anything we can do for activity? Oh, I keep clicking the wrong friggin' buttons. So we can just go and do these last two things now. Have a little bit of time off. That really was quite the gap, wasn't it? We're going to have to do a Will Buxton interview, which we're not going to do. So we'll be back to go to Monaco. Actually, let's just make sure nothing else goes wrong first, shall we? Everything looks fine. Everything looks fine. And we skip ahead. A marketing team event now. So basically, Gasly's in demand. It's the final of the esports series.
Thanks.
Off you go, Gasly. As I say, enjoy the fame. Enjoy the fame of being world champion and let it distract you, please. Alright, let's go to Monaco. Is it wrong to purposely sabotage your teammate? I'm not sure. So there's a track map of Monaco. Rain is basically not going to happen, so that's a positive. I'm going to go and crash my way through free practice, and I'll see you for qualifying one. Alright, so free practice is done. It went about as well as you'd imagine. The top cars, including Gasly, are in the 108s. And high 108s, and I've just managed to get into the 110s. So I'm about 2 seconds off the pace. To be honest, I'm actually not that disappointed by that. So let's get the qualifying and see if we can get out of Q1. Alright, so second run in Q1 now. Just couldn't get a clean lap together, which is unsurprising. Hit the wall on my second attempt in the first run. Lost the nose, and obviously a bit of the nose, and that kind of put an end to that. So we do have a delta, but we should be able to beat it. You'll notice from the delta, I mean, I struggle for consistency through corners. The delta bounces around all over the shop, never mind throughout a lap, so... My dream one day is to actually be good enough at this track to not just try when it comes up on the calendar. We're a little bit up. It's the end of the lap that I kept really messing it up. The wall again. Alright, third time's a charm. Right, this is our third run in Q1. Nothing to speak of yet. And I'm a little bit concerned I'm going to have to show the first run where I was truly terrible as the highlight for this qualifying because I can't get a lap together. Just little brushes on the wall, just losing a bit of a wing, or... Well, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. But it's usually just, you know, outbraking myself or just running it a little bit wide. Second down. The issue we have too is that I'm out of new tyres at this point as well. Actually, I think I had one set. Maybe I should have whacked those on actually on one side. But as you know, I sulk when I get to Monaco, so I wasn't thinking. Well, that's an interesting line. Lost the front wing again. I give up. I just give up. I hate this place so much. Alright, so remarkably, this is our fourth run in Q1. Hopefully I don't have to show you the others. We can finally get a lap together here, and we're going to have a car come out just in front of us. It's Lundgaard. And let's hope he does just politely get out of the way for us. Come on, Christian, let me up the inside here, mate. Always did like Lundgaard.
Pierre's sitting in pole. He's in pole position.
Hooray for Pierre. Jesus Christ, don't tell me that. Now, of course, we will probably have enough time for another lap here as well on these tyres, so... Shortcut, it's fine. I've spoken to the Michael Massey, he said it's absolutely fine. Don't hit the wall through here. Right, so we are going to have to go again, aren't we? Did we get any damage there? No. So I did a lap without damaging the car. That's progress. Alright. So this is it. This is the final lap. There will be no second chances now. Or 6 chances, whatever we're up to. I mean, the actual miracle of this is that I'm not last. Despite the first lap really not being good. Yet, it might prove to be the one that you have to watch, because I have struggled this session. We're not really enough up, are we? But then, like I say, it's getting out of the session isn't what we want. We're going to probably take engine penalties. Very close to the wall. If I didn't hit it, I don't know how. Deep. That's it, the last corner. I mean, we're a mile up. Are we going to get a Q1? Miracle of all miracles? No, we're not. Or are we? We're at a Q1. We're out of Q1. It's the best lap I've done by a country mile. We're not that far off of Lundgaard and Giovinazzi, both the Aston Martins. It's daylight after that. So the best we're looking at here is P14, realistically. But let's go to Q2. Didn't think I'd be saying that, and see what we can do. Alright, here we go. Now, we don't have 6 attempts at this. We've just got the one fresh set of tyres. So it all comes down to this lap, realistically. Did I hit the outside wall there? No. The thing I find really challenging about Monaco is that I'd say I just need to do like a solid lap, but I feel like the difference between just trying to do a solid lap and absolutely pushing to the maximum, there is no difference. It just feels like just trying to hit apexes, get good exits, and see where it puts us. You can see there, the top guys are in the 108s. And I always got into the 109s in that last session, but cheeky. Just got a little deep. Good exit. Oh, I hit the wall there, I think. Here we go. What have we done? A 1:10.2. So it's my best lap so far. So there we go. Gasly tops the session on mediums. Hooray for him. I mean, I did better than I thought I was going to do, and yeah, this is... Let's just get this race done with. I'm wondering, strategy-wise, if there's anything we can do. I'm not sure there is there? To get into the points, we have to be a second and a half a lap faster, and I just don't think I can do that. Yes, Ted, that's correct. We'll be replacing parts, so we'll be taking some penalties. Which parts? All of them, mate. I'll basically be driving a new car.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Tsunoda, Carlos Sainz, and Hamilton, Perez, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, and Pierre Gasly, Norris, Ocon, Christian Lundgaard, and Giovinazzi, Latifi, Schwartzman, Lance Stroll, and Mick Schumacher, Joe, Mazepin, Russell. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Oldtimer. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, so we've replaced all the parts. We're starting at the back. I have an idea. this is my idea. Now, last year, if you remember, I don't know if I set the fastest lap and it got nicked off me, but I certainly did, I was quite good in open air, relatively speaking, by myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the medium, and we're going to come in as early as we can and go to the soft. I always want to come in earlier than that, but the soft may not actually make it, which, to be fair, I may not actually make it anyway. But my thought process is to come in, get free air, and then just pound in the laps. I might even, if we start on a soft, is it going to be easier to do that? Get the medium on. Just come in straight away. Get free air, you know what I mean? And then just try and get as faster laps as I can. Hopefully everybody else will be holding each other up in a train. And then just kind of see where that brings us out. Yeah, after everybody else does a pit stop. We're just going to try it. What have we got to lose? What have we got to lose? Alright, so here we go. Back on the grid. Not a great qualifying for Gasly either. And, well, this could be a long race for AVR, couldn't it? Not the best start. That was partly by design. What I don't want to do is lose a front wing with this strategy, because we don't want to lose any time in the pits. We've just got to be as quick as we can. So just don't want to damage your front wing, Jeff. We'll just cruise around at the back. Yeah, there you go. So that was basically my strategy here. We need a quick stop and as little time loss as possible. Now, is there an argument to say we could, jump up a few spots here and maybe save a few seconds? Yes, there is, and whether that's what I should have done, about now, I'm thinking, this is a little bit silly back here. Yeah. As I say, it was damned if I do, damned if I don't. If I'd gone for it and lost a front wing, then probably, it loses us time depending on how many spots we gain. But, maybe, it's live by the sword, die by the sword. If maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that's just what I need to do. But we've kept ourselves clean so far, coming up to the final part of the lap here, coming into the swimming pool. And relatively close behind George Russell there at the back. He took penalties as well. I mean, there is an argument to say if we'd not taken penalties, where would we have been on the grid with everybody else taking penalties? But anyway. All right, well, it'll be interesting to see how this works. A bit of a non-event of a first lap. I just didn't want to hit anybody and end up having to change a front wing. So, yeah, well, like I say, it's a risk, but what have we got to lose here? It'll be hammer time. And, well, let's see what we can do. So I think it was a 2.6 second stop, so that's not too bad. And now it really is just a matter of getting the foot down and just trying to do as many qualifying laps as I can without hitting anything, which is always difficult for me, trying to be just under that limit. So we skip ahead now to lap 7, and pit stops are now underway. You can see we pulled the gap back to, I think it was about 9 seconds. Or so. I missed what it was there. You can see there's Lance Stroll coming out of the pits, and can we get him on the hot tyres figure speed? And we do. Oh my god, Jeff, is this actually working? So we've jumped in Alpha Tower. We were right behind Giovinazzi in the Aston Martin. Now, of course, I don't have any idea where these guys qualified. I think they're around about where we would have been if not for the penalties. Now, are we going to be able... You can see George Russell there, who was ahead of us, is about 5 seconds up the road. So we have almost pulled back in the time we lost from the pit stop. Now, he started on the mediums, of course, as well. But, there is an outside argument to say that this might work. Now, are we going to score points from it? No. I mean, that was always a bit of a tall ask, wasn't it? Well, I say no. If there's something crazy that happens in this race, yeah, we're going to be further up and have a better chance of it. But then if we'd started 16th, would that have worked? We basically would we just be where we are now? Because I think we were, weren't we? We were with you see more stops being made, and we looked to jump a few more people there up to 17th. Is it? There's another Aston Martin coming out of the pits. It looks like it's Lundgaard. And of course, yeah, we were behind them in qualifying anyway. So it looks as though we may have just sort of popped out roughly where we would have started anyway. Which perhaps bodes the question, and I haven't thought of this until now, would this strategy be worth doing? So if we'd started 16th, pit at the end of the first lap, would that then be enough to jump us into a point playing position, perhaps? Maybe one to remember for next season if Monaco springs up on the schedule again. But what we are going to be unlikely to do is overtake anybody that's in front of us now. We do have a big advantage coming into that chicane just there. Of course, it's always difficult to get alongside close enough and then to be able to actually pull off the move and not damage the car as well. It's Monaco, isn't it? It is almost impossible. Are there more stops happening this lap? It doesn't look like the timing tower there is jumping around, so no. But again, George Russell is still out there, so in 10 laps, last one, we're on the 10th lap now, so in 9 laps, we've essentially pulled back a pit stop on George Russell. So that's not bad going. The issue I find now is my laps are getting a little bit scruffier because there's cars in front, so you're trying to catch them, aren't you? If there's a car there, it's like dangling a sausage in front of a dog, or in front of me, to be fair. You're just trying to get to it the whole time, and just maybe losing my rhythm a little bit. But if I can keep it off the walls, P17 is not bad. Now we know George Russell's got to stop, so that would be P16. I don't know if there's anybody in front of him that's still got to come in. I can't remember who started on the mediums, but you can see a few fastest laps getting put in there now. So everybody on the medium tyre is moving. And a little bit deep, and is that going to give Stroll a chance? No. It just goes to show how difficult it is to overtake, doesn't it? I mean, there's just basically no chance. You really do have to make a mistake.
Time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Yeah, I mean, we're losing a large amount of time to the cars in front. It looks like the Aston Martins are slowly driving off into the distance, aren't they? But George Russell's going to be a little bit of a block for them. But you'd imagine we're on lap 11 now. It can't be too far away before he's making his stop. And at that point, well, we're going to have to be able to do it. You can just see the back of George Russell's Williams in these shots here. So if he could stay out till lap 18, that'd be wonderful. But I don't think that's going to be part of his plan somehow. But yeah, it's the same old story, isn't it? Even if we do continue to close in here, there's Russell there. So we're roughly where we started 11 laps ago, behind George Russell, a little bit further back, and 2 Aston Martins in between. But oh, that's an interesting line. I don't think that was in the manual. And well, it's just given Stroll a bit more of an opportunity. And of course, the risk of doing that is damaging the car, isn't it? Now, hopefully, I'm not going to damage the car, but that car looks actually remarkably all the same shade of green. Have I actually not damaged the car as of yet? I really am trying so hard to... I mean, I don't think I'll ever be good at Monaco, but I really, really am trying to, be able to keep a decent pace and not hit the wall as I almost did there. Yeah, it's so draining, like just mentally draining to concentrate for that long and, not accelerate too quickly. And oh, it's well above my skill level, that's for sure, this track. But anyway, so far I'm relatively happy with how we've done here. Still doing green sectors as well, which is nice. And it was close again as well, wasn't it? But Latifi is up there in 7th. Now, has he stopped, I wonder? That's very high for Williams in normal circumstances, as Stroll is, again, all over the back of us. But, again, I mean, there's just no place to overtake. And, I mean, I would love to get into a position where we can at least have a look at Giovinazzi in front of us. But you can see we're just can't quite... I don't even know if we missed the timing there. I think we might just be in DRS range on the front straight, but it's short, and it's such a short braking area into the first turn as well that it's just never likely to happen. You can understand why the first lap at Monaco is just so crazy, can't you? Because it really is the only opportunity that you get to make up some positions on track. Yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys think of the strategy. I think we just caught the end of Jeff saying that Gasly is coming to the pits. But yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys think of the strategy. I mean, it has worked to a point, hasn't it? Because we're ahead of cars that in the race we started behind. So I do wonder if we are to try this again, and again just all over the shop coming into that chicane. If we were to say qualify 16th again, I don't think you can't rely on other drivers getting penalties. So Russell is coming to the pits now, and you can already see the Aston Martins cruising up the road just from one corner, can't you? And it looked like the cleanest edit there that I did, but anyway. Stroll around the outside. We just sort of show him off towards the wall there. Of course, he will now see these Aston Martins driving off in the distance and will be thinking that he needs to get past. That's P16 for us now. George Russell has come out, basically behind Stroll, just 16 seconds behind. So yeah, I mean, it has worked in that sense that we're ahead of some cars that we started behind. So if we were to sort of extrapolate, there's a word for you, extrapolate that forward, would that then mean that if we, and I've missed the corner there, and I'm pretty sure I get a warning for corner cutting there, and rightly so. What you're basically seeing now is me trying to go too fast to keep up with these Aston Martins that are just driving off into the distance, and we haven't taken that particularly well either. Stroll is absolutely climbing all over our gearbox. He has a look up the inside, it's very, very tight, and he just can't get the traction down to pull off the move there. But Latifi has indeed
gap to the car in front is 3.1 seconds.
So there you go, 3.1 seconds. Latifi's coming to the pit, so that puts us up to P15 now. And we're going to skip ahead to the beginning of the last lap. And you can see we've still got Stroll behind us. Latifi is there as well on the soft tyres.
This is your final lap.
Stroll has obviously been behind us the whole time. He didn't try to pull another move like we just saw a few laps ago there. And you can see the Aston Martins are 10 seconds down the road. So, as I suspected, we were never going to be able to pass anybody that got ahead of us from the pit stops. But what we have been able to do is keep a car that is clearly faster than us in Lance Stroll in the AlphaTauri behind. So, it does bode the question. Could we do this starting a little bit higher up the grid?
And 2 laps of fuel remaining.
And maybe, just maybe, be able to nick a point. We've moved up, 7 places? So if we were to start 16th, that would be 9th. Now, the cars up there are going to be going faster, of course, so it's not going to be as easy. But it does just make you wonder, especially if there was to be someone a little bit out of position up the grid, then maybe it would work a little bit better. But there we go. We come out of the final corner. It is P15.
Well, the best finish in Monaco, and it's a finish in Monaco, so I guess that's good.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
No, I'm not doing a post-race debrief, Jeff. I don't want to. No, I'm not. I'm going home. So there we go. It seemed like a long time since there was no AVR car on the podium, but not on this occasion. And we didn't even get fastest lap with Gasly either. So, did my strategy work? I mean, it didn't not work. We qualified 16th, didn't we? So we moved up a spot from where we would have started if we'd, if we'd started where we qualified, kind of thing. If you look at the fastest laps, we were faster than the Aston Martins. I do wonder a little bit. I mean, I was struggling right at the end there with the tyres. I do wonder a little bit if I'd been a little bit more aggressive off the start, maybe being able to overtake 1 or 2, that just would have saved me 2 or 3 seconds, maybe, that we lost in the first lap to just from field spread, and maybe that would have been the difference to getting us ahead of the 2 Aston Martins. But to be honest, it still wasn't points, was it? Maybe, as I say, do we start on the medium, go to the soft, and just hope that it gets to the end? And, you know, maybe those, instead of doing 11 sixes, maybe we can get into the low 10, which is ambitious because I mean to the high 10s, I should say. Maybe that's the difference between pushing us up into the top 10. But ultimately, I'm just not good enough around Monaco, am I? But let me know what you think anyway of the strategy of the race. It was, I mean, it was maybe a bit of a boring one. It was all about just the time trialing in between the stops. We can see there, Gasly extends his lead. I'm 36 points back now. So the fact that he didn't win, he took penalties as well, has helped me. And, I mean, it's very close, isn't it? Between ourselves and all the way up there in 4th, Bottas is only 3 points. And it's not that far to Perez and the two Red Bulls up there, and Perez and Verstappen. The constructors, well, the gap has narrowed, but we are still in the lead. And to have that leaving Monaco, I think is probably about as good as we could have hoped for. So there we go. We limit the damage to Ricciardo. It's even again. The next race is Baku. Now, Baku is a track, the wide open space is the Baku compared to Monaco. We should go okay there because it's a little bit faster, and yeah, I think we should go okay there. And we haven't been there for a little while since the car has really improved. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how good it is. And yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that because it can't be any worse, can it? We didn't get our 20 constructors points, but Gasly got his pole position, and we got whatever the other one was there as well. But if you've enjoyed that, thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. Yeah, I mean, Monaco, it's Monaco, isn't it? It's never my favorite race, but hopefully it was entertaining for you. I'll see you next time in Baku, and hopefully we'll get back to our point scoring ways. Take care.